What's there, everyone? I don't know how to do these intros. In today's video, I'm going to be giving you some tips and tricks on how you can stay motivated when going to the gym. Before we even talk about motivation, let's talk about why we get motivated to go to the gym. So people usually fall into two categories. So one would be positive motivation and two would be negative motivation. So positive motivation is when you're inspired by someone. So you might look at someone on YouTube and be like, I want to look like that guy. And you're probably looking at me right now and going, that's me. If that's you, I'm going to tell you right now, that's not going to last at all. And I'm speaking from experience, right? Only a very small amount of people will actually end up following through with those intentions, while a large majority of people will stop before they get even remotely close to their goal. So my experience was, my friend and I had a couple of senior friends that we knew, and they got freaking jacked in like 3 months, right? Like within 3 months, they were completely different people. And we looked at these guys and we're like, holy shit, we can do the same thing. We can do this if we work really hard. At the time, I was completely oblivious to steroids and all this other stuff. So looking back now, I know for a fact that those guys were on something. Because they got massive. Like I'm talking about, they were skinny as hell, like, and then suddenly became freaking huge.
You son of a bitch.
And that led to us being so excited and so ready to pump some iron, right? I remember vividly, we had like a 2.5 hour phone call, right? And we were talking about like exercise plans, diet plans. We were so delusional. We'd look at pictures of Ronnie Coleman and we'd be like, nah, bro, I don't want to get that big, eh? As if we were ever gonna get that big. Fucking idiot. Anyway, we found a program on bodybuilding.com and we're like, oh shit, this is it, man. And I remember he had like this weird tin can of like, I don't even know what it was, but he told me it was protein, but it didn't taste like protein now that I think back. It was some weird other thing. And we were like chugging that down before we went to the gym. And then we go to the gym and I'd be like struggling to bench like the bar. And it was funny as, because I'd walk past the mirror like every 10 minutes and then I'd look at myself and I'd be like, damn, yeah, it's getting there, it's getting there. So anyway, that continued for about a month, right? We were so motivated, you know, we were sticking to the diet plan, we were sticking to the exercise routines, we were doing everything right. And I remember I looked at myself in the mirror and I was like, where the hell are the big biceps? I was promised big biceps and I got nothing. I got absolutely nothing. And I was so demotivated. I was like, I thought I was going to change my physique entirely, you know, like from a melted ice cream into Ronnie Coleman. That's what I thought was going to happen. But no, none of that happened. I ended up looking the exact same as when I started. And then following that, we had some exams and all this other stuff. And then, yeah, I canceled my gym membership. I'm going to tell you right now, that's what most people's experiences is going to be, right? So you might be motivated for longer than a month, but eventually that dies down and you just don't want to do it anymore. If you do end up doing it, good on you, man, because you did better than me. So now let's talk about negative motivation. Negative motivation is when something bad happens to you and you have to face the consequences of your action. So an example of this is if you do really bad in an exam and you know, you have to do really well in the next exam to pass the course, right? So you're freaking motivated and you know, study really hard and you do well in the next exam. That's negative motivation. So you can see that negative motivation is a lot more powerful than positive motivation, right? And I had an experience with this as well. So for me, what happened was I liked a girl and she did not like me. And one day we were walking and she saw a gym and she looked at me, looked at the gym, looked at me and said, you should join a gym. And at the time I was like, yeah, you know, I'm thinking about it. But deep down inside, I was like, oh my God, rest in peace, brother, rest in peace. And so initially I was really upset by it, but you know, I do not blame her because look at me, man, I look like a fucking melted ice cream. That's when I decided, all right, you know what, I'm doing this. I'm getting into this. I'm gonna train. I'm gonna try my hardest. I started not only researching, but what I did this time was I exercised really hard, right? I kept exercising, you know? I didn't have a gym membership, so I just did push-ups at home, or I'd, you know, go for runs. I'd do whatever I could to get myself active and to make myself burn some calories. No structured diet plan, no exercise routine, just getting up off my ass and doing some hard work. So you can clearly see the difference. Negative motivation is a lot more stronger for you. But the thing about negative motivation is it's only fueled by a specific event that has to happen to you. So if that negative event doesn't happen to you, how can you stay motivated, right? And the answer is quite simple. When you answer the question, why am I training? You have to answer that question honestly. Don't give yourself the shit superficial reasons for why you're training, right? So instead of saying something like, I want to look like that guy, say something like, I want to look like that guy because I don't look great, right? You got to give yourself the honest, difficult, and sometimes a little bit confronting answer, right? And in today's world, we call that anti-body positivity, right? That's not anti-body positivity or anti-positivity or whatever, right? It's called disciplining yourself for the consequences of your action. Why do you think some parents smack their children on the backside? Do you think they're doing that to hurt them or to abuse them? No, they're doing that to discipline them. They're not doing that to hurt them in any way. It's the exact same thing here, except you're giving yourself the big slap that you need on the back of your head, right? And for some of you need it worse. Sometimes this isn't enough, right? For some people, it can be damaging. You can feel really bad about yourself, right? So the one thing I encourage everyone to do is to surround yourself with people with the same goals, right? And the best thing about that is that you have a support group now. So it's people that will, motivate you to go when you don't have that motivation intrinsically. And if you can't surround yourself with people with the same goals, maybe you don't have any friends that are into fitness, or maybe you just don't have any friends at all. If you don't, I'll be your friend. I don't know if you want me as your friend, to be honest. If that's you, then what I'd encourage you to do is to get yourself a coach. Hey, relax. This is not an advertisement, it's advice, okay? So put down the keyboard, put it down. Now like and subscribe instead of writing that hate comment. So for example, you might see like a 12-week coaching program and you're like, oh, nah, there's no way I'm paying $200 for that. But you're gonna be spending that money on supplements and all that other kind of stuff anyway. You'd be much better off spending $200 getting a coach that will set you up for life. And the best thing about coaches is for that 12 weeks or whatever it is, that coach is there for you as a support person, right? So you have someone to guide you, someone to tell you when you're doing something wrong, someone to tell you when you're doing something right, and someone to motivate you to train, right? So a coach is essentially there for you anytime that you're not feeling too great, right? You can just literally message them and say, hey, look, I'm not feeling too good. What's gonna happen? And he can assure you that you're gonna get the results that you need, right? And sometimes that's what you need to get yourself going. Did that sound like a sales pitch to you? So anyway, guys, I hope you enjoyed that video. Leave a comment, like, subscribe. Come on, man, just do it. Like, it's not hard. Just leave a like, leave a comment. You're killing me with this.
Yo, killing me with this.
Till next time, peace.